Hello there. We are your fellow tired indie developers and are currently developing our game about this guy exploring, cooking and farming to feed these guys and set them free, which you might be familiar with if you've watched our previous videos. In this video, I'm going to take you through the last 30 days of progress we've made on our game. I went straight to making more crops because we wanted to keep farming simple, but with many options, like having an abundance of crops that are affected by seasons and a lot of fruits, because you don't get much variety of fruits in farming sims. And for the record, I've made 156 frames for crops. I'm not counting the previous versions of the crops that are no longer in use. If you add those two, it will be over 200 frames. And this is after excluding all the icons, seed bags, and seeds. By crops, I also mean fruit plants, as we have lots of those as well. We didn't want the crops to be from a specific area or a region, so we added many crops that may or may not be used in cooking. Next, I worked on the rainy season because, as you might have noticed before, there were no raindrops during the rainy season. I drew a drop for the rain and a simple animation of the drop's impact, which will, of course, be played when the raindrops hit the ground. I then generated the drops as particles, and after doing some tests, I chose a certain angle and particle amount. While working on that, I also created snowfall, since there was no snow falling during the winter season. The process of making snowfall was quite similar to the rain. I drew snowflakes and made them fall straight rather than at an angle like the rain. After that, I did some quality updates by fixing bugs, like allowing you to place items while the tools are activated, with the tool being deactivated automatically. The toolbar in our game is quite different from typical RPGs. You don't have the tools in your inventory. Instead, we added a bar with all your tools equipped, and you simply choose the tool you want to use. It doesn't sit in the inventory or hotbar taking up space, but don't think that the tools don't have durability. You need to repair them as they wear out with use. There's also the option to upgrade the tools, but it's quite complex to explain in this video. So, if you'd like to know more about the tool upgrade system, let us know. Then, I added these little pop-ups above the townsfolk's heads to show the emotions they're having. Initially, we thought of having text appear above their heads, but we realized it might get repetitive. Even if we wrote hundreds of phrases, it would still feel repetitive. So we stuck with mini icons to represent their emotions. This way, they feel more alive as they have different emotions. We also added ambient colors that change depending on the season. For example, in spring, it's a yellowish tint that makes the colors pop more. We did something similar for the rainy season by giving it a very dark tint, making it feel gloomy. When it rains, the tint gets even darker. I also added small circles in the summer that float around the screen to give a refreshing feel. As of writing this video, I've been working on many things, like making the houses of the villagers respond to the seasons, drawing snow on top of every house, and making the leaves of the plants on the houses change color in the fall. I've also been working on the environment of the world by adding some more islands. I can't show you much yet since it's still a work in progress, and I don't want to spoil anything. This is all the stuff we've been working on over the past month. We might make further improvements, like on the new island I just showed you. You can never really tell when it's the last time you're tweaking something. With 4,000 to 5,000 assets, it's hard to keep everything consistent throughout the game. The more time you spend working on it, the more you improve things. We've already replaced many hundreds of assets, including the player, NPCs, UI, crops, etc. Consider checking out our game Sunset Bite on Steam and dropping a wishlist there. Well, that's all for this video.